Hey guys, it's Captain Matt with Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast about Christmas lighting, landscape lighting, and permanent lighting, which is that soffit lighting. Now, lately, I've been talking a lot about Christmas lighting because 'tis the season to have everything prepared and ready to go for the fourth quarter. But today, I wanted to talk about landscape lighting, sales, marketing specifically, because I think it was yesterday or the day before, right? We did a really nice proposal for somebody, and I didn't demo it because I just had given them the proposal. Usually, that would lead into a demo to show them, what they liked and didn't like about it. And they said, like, this is overly done, overly designed, and it's going to look like Disney World. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually get them on the phone. They've gone completely dark. They won't take my calls. They won't answer my texts. And that is so frustrating for me. And I realized that I did something along the way to make, to not allow them to understand that it takes what it takes when it comes to lighting. And, they probably saw all the areas I was going to light and thought, oh my God, it's going to be so bright, so overly bright because they're not lighting people and they don't understand. And well, honestly, because most of the guys who do lighting don't understand. Their lighting looks like shit compared to really good lighting, right? It looks better than darkness, but it looks like shit. They front light everything. They just do 16 inches off the wall. People all taught just fucking wash this, wash this. It looks silly. It's horrible. Looks poor, right? When you're next to somebody who has an actually designed property. But I realized that it's not the client's fault that they didn't understand that. It's my fault. And that's so fucking aggravating. Because last night I'm at a final walkthrough with 129 fixtures, and we didn't even do everything that can be done yet. 129 fixtures. That's why I don't tell people how many fixtures too. These clients absolutely love it. Their neighbors absolutely love it. And when you walk this property, and I'll post pictures and show pictures on my Instagram, Captain Matt Official, you would never guess it's that many lights. It doesn't make sense to someone who's not in lighting or someone who's been trained by a supply house or anybody who teaches you to do 16 inches away from a house. They can't comprehend. You hear that many 129 lights. That sounds like Yankee Stadium. That sounds like Disneyland. But when last night walking it, and the clients already loved it because they experienced it for the weekend before I came, did my final walkthrough. You walk that property. Now you feel safe, but it's not bright, right? You're not cleaning up. I always say, like, you're going to turn your sconce lights on to clean up after your party. But during your party, when you're talking and you're chatting, or you're sitting out here having a cocktail or reading a book or just relaxing after a hard day's work, you are not going to have those bright lights on. You're going to have these ambiance lighting on. You're going to be able to walk it, all the property, and enjoy it wherever you want. People know where to walk when they arrive. They know this is the front, this is the back, right? And it is frustrating as me, as a guy who is the best in the area, right? I have a franchise in the area. I have, landscapers and hardscapers and fucking sprinkler guys and heating and cooling guys who get work. And it does such a disservice to their clients that they're doing, because they're comparing apples to baskets, right? Like, what those guys do is not what I do. It's not even on the same fucking plane. And I have no problem. Anybody in my area, I have no problem saying it because it's true. I've seen their work, and I've also seen their proposals, right? Like, they list how many fixtures they're doing. So a lot of times they're actually more per fixture than me. In fact, most of the time, the majority of the time, they're priced per fixture higher than I am, because I don't price per fixture. But if we always take my jobs when I'm done and divide them by the total, I'm less than them. The only difference is I know what I'm doing when it comes to lighting design, and they know what they're doing to just get money and get a one-time client who ends up at some point seeing someone who's designed saying, fuck me. Those guys ripped me off, right? They don't know how to do maintenance. They don't know what design. They don't understand creating volume and depth. They don't know that you should light the trees behind a house so that the house actually stands out more. They don't know that you shouldn't be putting just one light on a tree or front lighting a fucking tree. and people are paying them. But I realize it's my fault because those 129 fixtures, not a single person would ever guess that amount walking in. Because in our minds, we have one light in a room, two lights in a bedroom, right? And it's all well lit, it's all illuminated. We can see everything. So when you walk on a property and see, yep, the house is lit, some trees are lit. Yeah, this is probably it's probably 20 lights. I bet you if I ask people, that's probably, the ballpark that I would get is 20 to 30. That's probably 20 to 30 lights. When in actuality, it's 129 fixtures. And the whole property's not even done. Right? There's the entryway trees aren't done. There's backyard things that could be added. They don't have to be. It looks absolutely stunning and amazing. But no one would guess that. And my lighting design mentor Nate Mullen, pointed out once we were at a restaurant, how many lights are in this restaurant, right? And what do you think? 10, 12, right? And we sat down and counted, and there was 83 fixtures inside this not very large restaurant. And how amazing is that? So the trick is, and I don't even have the magic pill. How do we, the real lighting designers who understand it takes more fixtures to be less bright, how do we help people really realize that? Now, obviously the demo helps, but the demo, you can do one a night. Right now it gets dark at 9:15. So you're out super late. You're only doing one a night, which is a big problem because what if you choose the wrong person and then you just waste the time? But how do we, and I know people say AI, you can do mock-ups and all that. I get it. That's fine. But if I'm doing AI mock-up and the other guy's doing an AI mock-up and they virtually are the same to the client's eyes, there's no difference, right? Because it's a static image. It's just a 2D image, right? Well, they in their minds are comparing apples to apples, and they might see me at 40,000 and the other guy at 12. And in their mind, they're getting the same thing. I know they're not. The other guy certainly knows they're not, but they say they are. Oh, I can do exactly what Cat the Math's going to do. I had it one time where it was $175,000 front and backyard, massive project, massive estate, right? 8-car garage, an additional 4-car garage. I mean, just massive property, right? And when I met with them, I must have dropped it somewhere. I know where I think it happened, but they ended up going with this hardscaping company who said, we can do what he's doing for $30,000. How in the world does anybody believe that? Even the client. Like, I call bullshit if you think that me at 175 and another guy at 30, you think that he's going to be able to pull the same thing off as I'm going to with my plan, right? So how do we, if we can't demo every single person, because we need to make sure, they understand the costs of what we do in terms of, hey, we're going to do this big illumination, especially on estates, right? It's not going to be $5,000. It's not going to be 10 grand. Like, it's going to be an investment, no different than when you get a patio put in or an outdoor kitchen put in or a new driveway put in or driveway columns put in or new trees put in that are semi-mature, right? It all has the cost. There's overhead costs, there's labor costs, there's product cost, and then there's profit. And then there's also time to design cost, right? So, as an industry of the real lighting designers, and unfortunately, too many guys call themselves lighting designers, and they are not. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're using pre-built, designs that AMP or any other manufacturer gives them. These guys have never installed a fucking light in their life. And it's not like they're bad designs in general, right? Because compared to nothing, maybe they're a 7. If we rate it on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe it's a 7. But those people aren't even getting the opportunity to know that there is so much better. Because in the car world, right, we know we can get a Honda, we can get a Porsche, we can get a Lamborghini, right? And I don't know, there's a bunch of other ones in between and above, right? But just as a general theme, when it comes to landscape lighting, that's not really what the market thinks. That's not what the average client thinks. You got solar lights, which are literally compared to low voltage. How is that possible? Solar is nowhere near where it needs to be to actually replace wired low voltage. It's not there yet. But in someone's mind, they literally compare those $1.99 Walmart solar light fixtures to me coming in. Well, yeah, to me, I had it earlier this week. A guy was like, you are double where I want to be. I was at about $7,000, and that was just to literally replace all of the solar lights he had with low voltage lights. And he had, I don't know, I want to say 27, 28 solar lights. And I literally just wanted to give him what he asked for, right? So, okay, I will replace all your solar lights with real low voltage lights that will always work. And he was expecting half of what it actually costs. Like, whose fault is that? Like, it's got to be mine. I took the time to make the proposal. I took the time to make the video proposal for him. I took the time to meet him. But why? Why is that? How do we, without a demo, allow people to understand that it takes more fixtures to make less light? How do we, without a demo, tell people, yes, we're going to light up this garden bed, that mulch bed, the front of the house, the back of the house. We're going to light up some trees in the backyard where your dog comes out so that you can look outside and never have to worry where he is. Yes, we're going to light up your fence. How do we do that? So, I mean, if you have a better idea, hit me up, because the industry is lacking it in general. And it's super frustrating when you drive around and you see dark homes and you see poorly lit homes, right? The tall tale sign of a hardscaper, landscaper, HVAC guy, or even a franchise guy is the second story is not lit. They can't get on a ladder or something. I don't know what it is. Right. So it's frustrating when you are good at lighting I almost argue with myself. Should I just offer the shit lights? Should I just offer the shit aluminum lights and never use a ladder? It'd be a lot less expensive, right? But that does such a disservice. And then I have to live with myself knowing that I sold on purpose a subpar product. I sold on purpose a shitty design. How can I keep my reputation on that, right? And I still argue with myself over it sometimes, right? I just sent out one proposal with an option for aluminum lights, and that's probably the only one I'll ever send, right? Because it felt dirty, right? How can I say my reputation? I'm voted best in outdoor lighting 4 years running in my area, and then offer you a subpar project. I can't say that my reputation matters and then sell you a product that literally has 5-year warranty versus lifetime warranty or a 15-year warranty. That's not right. And I know Robert Ivy's actually doing some badass things with AI from pictures and giving them like a whole video walkthrough. So kind of like a demo, but a virtual demo. Those are badass. In fact, I should probably have him on to talk to him about that, what he's doing with all that. But anyways, I just wanted to encourage you guys that while this can be frustrating, the benefit, the exciting part of it is that they're out there, right? There's 1,000 other jobs like that one just in my little area. And that's just, there's more than that, but I'm saying, how exciting is that when you figure out your messaging and when you're able to walk onto the right properties, like the possibilities, the potential, the money you're going to make, the reputation you're going to have is literally endless. Every time guys say, well, it must be nice to have those big houses. Wherever you are, you have them too. No doubt about it. You're just not getting onto it because the messaging from the beginning, the marketing from the beginning doesn't attract the people that you want. Right? And where are those people? Some of them sure are on Facebook. Some of them are on Instagram. Some of them are on Google. Some of them are on LinkedIn. Some of them are wherever. But when you figure that out and you start finding out and actually reviewing, where did this good client come from? Well, then you can dial that piece of it up, dial that part of the marketing up, because this messaging worked for this guy that I really liked. How do I get to his friends? How do I get to the next guy? All right. Check out CaptainMattOutdoors.com. I do mentoring for outdoor lighting, Christmas lighting, soffit lighting, landscape lighting. Check that out. Check out Lighting Trade School. We have the Illuminati Lounge Club. Until then, it's been Captain's Quarters First Class, a podcast about outdoor lighting.